time. The gentleman from New York is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of this measure, and I yield myself as much time as I may consume.
The gentleman is recognized for as much time as he wishes to use.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank Representative Donovan for his work on this resolution, which reaffirms America's relationship with Liberia and calls for the government of Liberia to hold accountable those who carried out mass violence and atrocities during the country's civil war in the 1990s. That war resulted in the deaths of over 200,000 people and was marked by gross human rights violations. In the wake of this conflict, the Liberian government started working to investigate the horrific crimes committed during the war. In 2005, a Truth and Reconciliation Commission put forward recommendations to follow through on those efforts. But now, 10 years later, the government of Liberia still hasn't fully implemented those recommendations. Liberia, as the chairman pointed out, and the United States share close historical, political, and economic ties. We in the United States are committed to helping Liberia prosper as a stable democracy. The 2017 elections were an important turning point. This was the country's first peaceful, democratic transition of power since 1944. Today's measure rightly congratulates Liberia for this achievement. But for Liberia to fully move forward, it must deal with its past. So this resolution urges Liberia to implement the recommendations from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. There must be justice and accountability for the atrocities committed during Liberia's civil war. Mr. Speaker, the resolution before us today is a very important step to continue our strong relationship with Liberia, and I'm happy to support it, and I reserve the balance of my time. I yield back.
The gentleman from New York reserves his time. Does the gentleman